Hey DV,
Here's another episode of Conquest Journal. I'm Brandon.
I'm Jesse. Let's get started.
Senior night was very emotional last Friday. Seeing all our seniors get honored in the last home game.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that's gonna be us next year. Here's Nick with the story.
A big round of applause again to our seniors representing the class of 2016.
Senior night is a special night that is dedicated to those seniors who have spent their long hard time and effort to their clubs and organizations. Friends, family, and coaches show their appreciation to their seniors as this is their last home football game in high school.
Enrique Vasquez and Carla Zapata. Number 14, Brandon, my sister Tiffany Perez and Josh Perez.
We thank you for your hard work and dedication for your 4 years in high school. And remember to cherish the little things in life, as the steps you take right now can fuel the legacies of the future generations. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Nick Sparks.
Theater class did a good job performing the Dracula play.
And Theater Tech did good as well with the stage.
Here's Jerry with the story.
The Del Valle theater class has been working hard, learning their lines and getting into character for their most recent play, Dracula. This year's Halloween play was also revolved around the recent blood drive. Volunteers received a shirt and a ticket for the play.
We decided to stick with Dracula because we could incorporate it with the United's blood service, and we had a blood drive, and so that's why we stuck with that. We like to do fundraisers for the community.
While backstage, actors were putting on makeup and getting into character. Meanwhile, theater tech class prepped the stage and made some final adjustments for their opening night. One of the main characters, Dr. Van Helsing, was played by Danny Arambula.
I like that he thinks everyone is ignorant, and I can kind of relate to him about that. He's very educated on what he does. He's basically an expert on what he does, and that's something I strive to be, on whatever I like to do and whatever I pursue.
The play was an hour and a half long, and many people enjoyed the performance.
The play was a really great play. There were some scares and laughs, but overall just a good play, and I'm really glad I went.
Well, this play was very amazing. I mean, all the young actors are amazing, unbelievable, and hey, they have a bright future ahead of them.
Reporting for Conquest Journal, Jerry Jimenez.
Veterans Day is a very important day.
We're one of those who have sacrificed and served for our country.
Here's Chelsea with the story.
Veterans Day is a national holiday celebrating the anniversary of the end of World War I and honoring U.S. veterans and victims of war.
The Del Valle community has some veterans of its own.
These brave men and women serve their country and have protected the freedoms that we enjoy today. Many were deployed overseas to foreign countries in order to serve.
Yes, I was deployed in Vietnam at the time the war was going on.
Oh, I had several tours deployed outside the U.S. I was stationed in Germany, my first assignment after I got commissioned, and then I was also later stationed for another 4 years in Germany at the end of my career.
I was stationed in Japan. I went to Korea. I did serve in the Persian Gulf War in Saudi Arabia.
Today, they're here at DV teaching students history, law enforcement, and how to become model citizens.
We thank these brave men and women for their service and dedication.
I was in the Army, regular Army, for about 3 years. And I was in the reserves, I guess, for about another 7-8 years.
Organizing.
Reporting for Conquest Journal, Chelsea Porras.
It's already been a week since we had the Food Truck Circus.
Yeah, it was a great success. Here's United with the story.
Last Friday on November 6th, Del Valle hosted its first Food Truck Circus. The Food Truck Circus was brought in order to reward faculty for their attendance rate. Students are given the privilege to enjoy the trucks as well.
All right. Well, the reason we're bringing them this time, they're coming here because our teachers have the best attendance in the entire district. So I feel that they earn it, so we brought it for them. But the students get to enjoy it too. Hopefully they'll be coming the last Friday of every month, because we're going to try to do this every month. If the whole school has a 96% average, it's an attendance, they'll come in. But if the teachers get it, then of course we'll bring them again too. It's going to be all kinds, because there's 12 different trucks. So they're going to have Korean, Mexican, barbecue, corn on the cob. I mean, it's going to be all kinds of different food trucks. So there's 12 of them coming. And if it goes well, if we need to bring more, we might bring it up to 22 instead of just 12. The purpose of bringing them is to motivate people that when you come to work or you come to school, that there's a reward for doing something positive for all of us. One of the things you're going to learn that when people eat well, they're happy. And I mean, when you go through the people's stomach, you get to their heart eventually.
All in all, the Food Truck Circus was a great experience, as many were able to enjoy a variety of foods along with entertainment during their 1-hour lunch. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Yumaira Herrera.
The weather's getting colder.
Yeah, I wish I knew somewhere I could get something to warm me up.
It's getting really cold outside.
Yeah, we should get away from the window.
Yeah, I think I'm getting frostbite.
Such dramatic.
Man, I wish I had something to warm me up. I know it's cold and all, but all this is uncalled for.
What about something like a cappuccino?
Yeah.
Buy a Conquest Cappuccino in room C205 for only $1.
This is the Valle's 5th year in Sun City Throwdown.
Let's check how they threw down.
The marching division, the 8th Annual Sun City Throwdown goes to, in score of 92.33, Del Valle.
The Del Valle High School Percussion Ensemble recently competed at the 8th Annual Sun City Throwdown. They have previously won first place for the past 4 years. This year was no exception, as they managed to win first place once again with some other titles: Best Snare Line, Best Tenor Line, and Best Front Ensemble. Valle also participated, and they managed to win first place and all the titles. Congratulations to the Del Valle Percussion Ensemble and to the Valle Drumline for taking first place home. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Irvin Sanchez.
Many food trucks arrived last week, but one in specific caught our attention.
And our stomachs. Here's Chris with the story.
Deciding whether to own a restaurant or go mobile is an important decision for any cook.
The name of my food truck is Comfort Co. Tasty Eats, and I specialize in Southern comfort food. I decided to open up the food truck because it was one of the inexpensive ways to start my own business. I didn't have the capital to start a whole restaurant. So the next best thing was my food truck, because it was not as expensive as a restaurant, and I can still create my own food out of the food truck.
Michael has been in the business for quite some time now, but it has taken even longer for his vision to become reality.
The food truck is going to be up and running for a year next Friday, the 13th. From this time that I put it in my head, so I actually up and running, it took me about 2 years to actually get everything up and running. Finding the truck, getting the permits, getting the concept, the recipes, it took me about 2 years.
Like any other business, owning a food truck
has its own ups and downs.
The ups, definitely I get to cook my own recipes. I get to cook the food that I want to serve on the regular basis, you know, getting to see the customers and their faces. The downs would probably be the food truck breaking down and having to fix it all the time.
Through the good times and the bad times, Michael continues to make his customers smile with a full stomach. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Chris Marcus.
A lot of good movies are coming out these holidays.
Let's check out Conquest Cinema.
The final installment to the Hunger Games series, Mockingjay Part 2, has been long awaited by fans and its release is almost here. Fans and cast members are saddened by the death of Philip Seymour Hoffman, who passed away in 2014 and was a major part of the Hunger Games series.
Turn your weapons to the Capitol.
Mockingjay Part 2 is set to be released November 20th, 2015.
Is that the only way in?
The only way in, the only way out.
The new film, The 33, dramatizes the 2010 mine disaster in Chile that trapped 33 miners for more than 2 months.
Nobody's blaming you.
The cast members led by Antonio Banderas underwent tough conditions while filming in real mines, dealing with darkness, lack of oxygen, and heat, and they were able to reenact the mining
We'll make it
disaster.
out of here because I choose to believe it. All 33 of us.
The 33 is set to be released November 13th, 2015.
Up there.
I was raised to do one thing.
Who are you?
The revival of a classic is finally here. Directed by J.J. Abrams, Star Wars The Force Awakens is the first film in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. The long-awaited sequel to George Lucas' blockbuster franchise is going to break box office records on opening day, earning $615 million. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Brandon Lopez.
There's a lot of good games out this year.
Yeah, here's Tech Talk with the most anticipated video games.
Treyarch's Black Ops 3 is one of the most anticipated games in 2015 due to the high popularity of the Call of Duty series. What distinguishes this Black Ops from the rest is essentially the difference in gameplay due to the new weaponry options. Black Ops 3 was a 3-year production, so the hype around it is certainly building up, especially the new and improved Zombies mode. Valle is one of the most well-known free roam action games, and with Part 4 on its way. The first 3 games certainly gave it a really good reputation with it being Game of the Year. It follows you as a player roaming Boston after post-nuclear detonation. What makes the game popular is the ability to explore and essentially live a second life.
You are our only hope.
Battlefront 4 has arguably been one of the most anticipated games for several years. With the third game being cancelled in mid-production, Star Wars gamer fans have been waiting several years for this very game to be released.
Happen again.
The hype around it has certainly matched up with the upcoming movie of the same franchise. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Jesse Martinez.
There's so many athletes that get hurt every year.
It's good that we have athletic trainers.
Let's check it out.
Playing the sport you love can be dangerous, but with the help of athletic trainers, you're able to play with a calm state of mind, knowing that they're there in case of an injury. There are many things trainers have to do to prepare for injuries.
Well, now, thankfully, we have a sports medicine class, which we try to get all of our student trainers into.
As far as the students are concerned, it's teaching them how to tape, first aid responsibilities, such as covering a cut, getting water.
Unfortunately, the best experience for them is to actually see an injury and then treat it as they come in.
Student trainers plan on using their skills outside of high school.
Outside of high school is going to help you become, I think, a lot more mature than other people because, like she said, you get to react a lot quicker.
If you wanted to become an athletic trainer, like you would want to do the program because you would get like experience. So once you go in college, you like already know what to do and all that.
Being a trainer can be difficult, but they find a way to get through it.
The hardest part, I would have to say, is probably the hours. And how I get through it, sometimes I wonder.
Hardest part sometimes is getting kids to listen to you. Because they're 14 through 18-year-old kids, and sometimes they don't really listen to what you tell them to do or what they need to do as far as their injuries and rehab are concerned.
Of course, we have those athletes that don't want to listen, so it makes it tricky. But like I said, for the most part, they do what they're asked of. They come in like they're asked. So yeah, it's good interactions, and I love to watch them playing their respective sports.
Well, time would be the hardest part. You just go with it. You have to be here when you have to.
Trainers share a great bond with the athletes here at DV.
The best part here is the family atmosphere between the coaches and all the athletes and all the students. Just really feels like one big family, which is the way it should be.
We have really good athletes here, and we have coaches that really support our program.
Thanks to the athletic trainers, the fear of injury subsides. Reporting for Conquest Journal, Samantha Piñon.
That's it for today's episode of Conquest Journal. I'm Brandon.
I'm Jesse, signing off.
Bro, look at the camera. Or...
You can look at them and then.
I just be like, true.
True.
Alright, go.
Dun, 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 dun. Senior night was very emotional last Friday. Seeing all our seniors get honored in their last. I wish I knew somewhere I could get a what? A warm what?